In the middle of Kandahar airfield is the Boardwalk, an area that's got everything you wouldn't expect to find in a war zone. Rows of shops, Burger King and Pizza Hut. But there's one thing missing, somewhere for a good old British cup of tea. Naval officer Pete Barfoot and his RAF colleague, Flight Lieutenant Janet Graham, are about to change all that.
Have a cuppa. Tea is good for you, did you know? It's good for the constitution.
Obviously, we're promoting it as a traditional English, or British, I should say, tea party in the middle of the desert with refreshing tea and coffee and cake. There might be one or two traditional aspects you'd expect to see in Britain.
More flags and balloons is the order of the day.
It's not just about the British making their mark on the Boardwalk. It's all for a good cause, helping the families of our armed forces. Janet's off to the British canteen to collect the centrepiece.
Right, let's go and find this cake, hopefully. Oh my God! That is amazing. Thank you so much.
Now they've just got to get it out in one piece.
That would cost thousands of pounds in the UK.
With all the vital ingredients for a perfect tea party ready, the big brew can get underway.
2 teas, please.
2 teas. This is the first cup.
First in the queue. First slice. First cup of tea. First slice.
We've done it on a Saturday morning where the tempo here tends to be a little bit more chilled out. People have got a bit more spare time and they're not under pressure to get back to work so much. Is it nice?
There's delicious cake and fine tea on offer, but the turnout's a little disappointing. On the other side of the Boardwalk, the Canadian coffee shop is proving to be stiff competition. But Pete has a plan. The Yanks don't know what's about to hit them.
Morning! Oh, throw away that muck. Come and have a good cup of English tea. You don't want any of this today, people. You want to come down to the British corner for a British cup of tea or coffee.
Had I known this was going on, I would have went down there first.
That's all right. You're a big chap. You can fit 2 cups in. I can see you're a 2-cup man. Okay? Right. Come along.
Sounds
come along.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks.
There's a few people giving us the old rabbit in headlights look. Right? But as long as we can promote the message, you know, hopefully we can get, if we get at least, you know, a few or dozen down there, that's better. Come. Do you know what would go wonderful with your Timmy Hortons? Some cake down there as well. All for charity. All for charity.
The British charm offensive seems to be paying off.
It's gone really, really well. We've had loads of people.
Yeah,
and
we've got
a whole tin of money and we sold all of that cake.
And a grand total of $700 goes to a very deserving cause.
Oh, the things I do for charity. Oh, thank you.
It's 8 a.m. on Kandahar Air Base. The RAF regiment's getting ready to take a vet to a nearby village to look at some sick animals. They want to get the local Afghans on side. And they also want to find out who's behind the recent attacks outside the camp. Flight Sergeant Rob Williams was in a Vixen Land Rover when it was hit by a blast from a roadside bomb last week.
It blew the wheel covering here off, and it blew the, as you can see, some of the damage on here itself. Some of the shrapnel was actually directed up towards the top cover, obviously because of the blast.
Unlucky enough to be on top cover that day was 21-year-old John Byrne.
It was scary as hell. I remember like stones, like bits of shrapnel, debris, stuff like that just flying up. My goggles did say my eyesight's because they've got cracks in my goggles, so basically they'd taken my eyes clean out. I could just feel my face burning, and I could smell like sulphur. It was absolutely like horrible.
I think you feel it first was the initial pressure of the explosion knocking the vehicle, and then you hear the explosion. Then all I saw was a load of dust puff, and you heard the shrapnel actually hitting the side of the vehicle, and basically somebody's initiated some form of explosive.
Bombs buried under the road are the most common form of Taliban attack.
When people think of Taliban and all that, you just think of seeing people run around with AK-47s and RPGs. Yet you never ever bloody see them. They just set their devices up and they're gone. Scary place, scary world. Just got to crack on though.
The number of attacks has gone up in the last few months, and it's got the regiment's nerves on edge.
I hope that's just the one that we go through in our 6-month tour. You never know. But I've requested to get back to work as soon as possible, just because the longer I put it off, I doubt I'd want to go back out. Made you scared to get back out, if you know what I mean. So I just wanted to crack on with it, and I'll try and put it out back in my mind.
He's always going to be apprehensive now. We're all going to be apprehensive now when we go out on the ground.
Rob's been a regiment soldier for 22 years, and he knows that his young lads have good reason to be worried.
I think if you stop being scared, that's when you start to become blasé. I think anybody who turns around and says they're not scared to go out on the ground, knowing what's out there, would be a liar as well. So there's nothing wrong with a bit of fear every time you go out the gate, because it heightens your senses, doesn't it?
Flight Sergeant Rob Williams and his lads from the RAF regiment are on a Hearts and Minds mission. They're taking a vet to a local village. But it's a slow process.
Bring her right up.
They've reached a vulnerable point, a place where the Taliban might have hidden some bombs under the sand.
Okay, just go firm, lads.
It's down to Corporal Ed Dyes to guide the convoy through.
Crack on. So basically what we're doing now is just adopting the prone position, just in case anything did go off. Then, you know, the lower you are, the less likely you are to get some of it.
These improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, are the Taliban's favourite weapon.
In the last sort of 7-8 days, there's been 3 IEDs within our area, just in 8 days. You know, they're crafty fuckers. Crafty fuckers. So watch where you step here, because it's a minefield either side. Junior, we're going to move over the water, okay? We're going to take that track down there. So this is a bit unpleasant, because the guys are going to have to get their feet wet here, and it fucking stinks, that water.
This time, Rob and the regiment lads find nothing. They pass through the vulnerable point unharmed and head for the village. An hour later, they arrive. And Rob and the lads are an immediate hit with the children.
The majority of them are just like any other kids, they just want to play. I mean, at the end of the day, they haven't got what our kids have got back home to make do with what they've got. But most of the time, it's rewarding. They put a smile on their face, it's all right.
Rob's just gone in for a shura, which is basically a meeting with the head man. You can usually spot the head man's gaff. I mean, it's got the well nearby, and it's got windows. Nobody else has.
The military vet gets down to business.
We're taking a sample of fecal material from the cow, and we're going to look and see if they got worms.
Afghanistan is the 5th poorest country in the world. The animals are the locals' only source of food and income in this village, so they've got to keep them healthy.
You just need to tell him that he needs to keep trying to get that infection out of the udder. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
A visit from a vet could help them survive the winter.
I think it's important that the locals know that we're not bad people and that we're just here to help them, and that they can count on us. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to back at home for sure, so you'll probably see with some of the sheep how they got fat pads that are back around their back end. That's kind of unique. I've never seen that before, so It looks like there's an abscess here. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to open it up so that it'll drain out. So, we got a hold of it. Ah, you're okay. So it's an abscess that needs to drain and it needs to be on some antibiotics. It's kind of got to heal from the inside out.
Vet's work done, the lads head home. Mark Hand is the man in charge of the regiment, so he's responsible for everyone's safety inside the camp.
Ultimately, there are 12,000 people, give or take, on this base, which is only going to get bigger, and we're here to protect 12,000 people on this base. That's what we're all about.
As head of security, he's also in charge of the 300 Canadian and Dutch troops who guard the entry gates. It's a 24/7 job, but he still has to find time to keep up appearances.
Hello, how are you?
Today, he's come to see Irina, one of the camp's hairdressers.
Like a number 4 at the back, tapered, please. And then just a trim, light trim.
Military haircuts come in a variety of styles. Short, very short, or no hair at all.
It's important to maintain your own self-respect, your own sort of normal life. We can't allow these bad guys outside to determine what we do, when we do it, how we do it. And this is just one sort of little microcosm of that.
It's one of 3 salons in the camp.
It's quite similar to getting your hair cut back in the UK, but the difference is I'm not likely to get rocketed in Bushy Heath.
He has taper at back, but top and side not too short. It's between civilian haircut and military.
I get told off by my wife if it goes too short.
Really?
Yeah. That's really good. Thank you very much indeed. Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Irina. I'll be here again.
Yes, please.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Nice to meet
Bye.
you, sir. Bye.
There are troops from 26 different NATO countries in Kandahar, all sporting military haircuts and desert combat gear. On the face of it, they look the same, but there are some subtle differences.
So, for example, you can see the Britful personnel here. They've got their standard desert wear, whereas the US and the Canadians have pixelated camouflage on their gear, which makes it more difficult for image-intensifying scopes to be able to pick out the outline of a human at range, you see, so it's a little bit more tactical that way around. Yeah. And as you can see, this is the latest camouflage kit in the jungle.
Troops like to personalise their uniforms too, anything to stand out from the crowd. Pete's visiting a little business that does a roaring trade on camp.
I'm coming along to the tailors to basically get this hat altered, which is for a friend of mine who can't make it up here. The British Army and the Air Force and elements like to shorten in the rim and make the top a bit smaller. It's sort of the style of the army. I suppose it makes it more sort of, I don't know, beret look, but certainly smaller on the head. I personally don't go for it because I don't have a problem with mine, but you know, whatever, spins your props. Good afternoon. Afternoon. How are you all? Excellent. A friend of mine's asked me if she can do the standard shortening in of the rim, you know, by about, I don't know, 4 stitches or so.
The shop's been here for a couple of years and it's run by Filipino civilians. And it's not just alterations. Loads of troops come here to customise their uniforms with military badges.
Here, you sent me to Afghanistan, you bastard. Quite apt.
10 minutes and $7 later.
Got it. Got it. That was quick. But you can see, you know, they shorten in the rim and then shorten in the top as well. But they sort of plonk it on like that and they sort of flatten down the boff front and lift up the top. And go like that.
It's midnight. News has reached the camp that Rob Williams and his RAF regiment lads have gone over another improvised explosive device just outside the base. Their boss, Mark Hand, is in the command centre, coordinating the rescue.
As at 23:30, we've taken an IED strike against the lead vehicle in a 4-vehicle convoy. It appears has been struck by a very large IED at the time when they were conducting their vulnerable point checks.
The Wimmick Land Rover's taken a direct hit from the bomb, and 3 of the regiment lads are seriously injured.
One in particular, Flight Sergeant Rob Williams. I've spent time in Iraq with him last year. He's a fantastic soldier, one of the best, and gutted to hear that it was him. Heart sank, to be honest, when I heard that. The indications are that it's 4.5 tons of Wimmick that's been blown about 15 feet to the side of the road, has been flipped. We have 1 man trapped underneath that vehicle at the moment. There are now 30 guys trying to get that vehicle either up onto its side or jacked far enough up so we can get this casualty out. Yeah, it's not good when you hear that. It is a sickening feeling.
It's several hours before the trapped soldier is freed from the blown-up vehicle. By dawn, the 3 casualties are back in Kandahar and have had life-saving operations in the camp's hospital. The regiment lads are pretty shaken up. Billy Igo Mitchell was in the Land Rover as it took the hit. He's lucky to have escaped unhurt.
I just remember feeling myself going through the air and landing on the floor, and I think I must have blacked out just before I hit the floor. And from accounts of everyone else, I think I must have gone about 15 to 20 feet in the air before I landed.
They've just visited their sergeant in the hospital.
Seeing Sergeant Williams, I know this sounds really cheesy, but you see him, you'd see him as a bit like indestructible sort of thing. You don't think something like that could happen to him. And to see him lying there after he'd just come out of surgery with, you know, his oxygen mask on, his face all just mangled, and he was still joking though, even when he was in there. It was just something like that'll stay with you for the rest of your life.
One of Rob's best mates is Sergeant Bennett Jones. The news has hit him hard.
The only people that will stay in your vehicles are for top covers, because most of you lot are fucking search team.
It makes you fucking really angry. They're just fucking cowards. If we knew where those fuckers were at that time, I think, well, we would have gone there. I guarantee that now.
Jones's lads are off to search the taxi drivers who hang around just outside the base.
Use the fucking dog anywhere to sniff them out, all right?
Yeah, see if they're open.
Yeah.
The regiment suspects that some of these men are feeding information to the Taliban.
We've just been tasked to hit this car park already, because I know it's right next to the main gate, so it's not that far at all from the camp. The reason being is obviously every time we go in and out, there's personnel in this car park. They're always on mobile phones and so on. Obviously, we call them dickers. They obviously then use the phones to give indication to, you know, the people out on the ground when we move out. Their reference, you know, where to place IEDs, how many vehicles are going out, all that sort of stuff.
I was checking the back of his phone, see if he's got more than 1 SIM card in it, because if usually, yeah, you open it. Usually if we've got more than 1 SIM card in it, it's going to be used to dick us. 2 different SIM cards avoids getting caught by the system. Do you know what I mean? So I check he hasn't got that.
Then Jay finds something suspicious strapped to one of the drivers.
Jeez. Actually, take it off. What the hell is it? Jesus. It just pulled the girdle off him, then put his vest.
Suicide girdle.
Yeah. Gave me a bit of a scare that when I felt it on him, like. Almost the same as I suppose what a suicide vest would feel like.
Jules is using a bit of kit that's helping the regiment identify the enemy.
Right. Okay, over there.
It's a retina scanner.
Checking if they're Taliban or not, or if they're wanted, basically.
In an instant, it'll check the person against a database of thousands of known Taliban.
Right, over there. If it is serious, basically they get taken out of our hands. Moves further up the chain.
Yeah, indeed, and all the people are searched now. We're just working through the last of the vehicles now.
Bag of weed.
You have to leave and keep it because it's not illegal over here.
What they'll do is they'll put it, it's a bit like chewing tobacco, they'll put it under the front lip and gives them a sort of a high. It's just fields of the stuff, absolute fields of it. So there's no way you can really police it.
Not the biggest haul.
Put it back in as you found it. There'll be no complaints.
But the message to the watching Taliban is clear.
As long as they know that we come into this car park now and we do this, it's going to make them think twice about coming in here. So it's all about trying to push them out and shit like that.
Back at Kandahar, Wing Commander Mark Hand and his intelligence forces have been busy. They've arrested the men they think are responsible for the bomb attack on Rob Williams and the other regiment lads.
At the peak of questioning, there were 9 guys in detention. Of that, 4 have admitted to the attempted murder of the guys on the ground, and they will go through the Afghani judicial system charged with attempted murder.
With Rob and his 2 young soldiers still recovering in Selly Oak Hospital in Birmingham, it's a bittersweet victory.
It meant that we took our enemies off the streets and into an Afghani judicial system that we have faith in, but it equally was payback time for the guys that are lying in bed in Selly Oak. And in terms of some form of moral levelling of the battlefield, I think that's been delivered.
It's been a difficult few days, but life soon returns to normal at Kandahar. Mark's come to the edge of the camp to let off some steam.
Part of my luggage on the way out here was 2 golf clubs and 100 balls. It's about the only thing that keeps me sane. If you can get out for half an hour on a Sunday morning and just knock a few golf balls around, it sort of takes you back to where you want to be actually.
But it's not long before his thoughts return to the men of the RAF regiment.
The effort that they put in and the commitment they show is just, from a commander's point of view, it's humbling. You know, all hours of the day, all hours of the night, and the job gets done, and that's just the great thing about being in this line of business. You know, the job gets done, come what may.